that Yu-Gi-Oh! Does not get enough credit for is the stories that it tells over the courses of its card art. Like, there's an insane one that I'm about to show you that's literally about demons invading heaven. Okay, so our story takes place in the Sanctuary in the Sky, which is a field spell that's clearly supposed to represent heaven. And in the Sanctuary lives this bearded god who one day foresaw the future and warned his angels that eventually someone living in the Sanctuary would betray them. And this prophecy would come true in the form of this maiden who is obsessed with the forbidden items. The forbidden items are a series of super powerful relics that were kept in the Sanctuary for safekeeping, and they weren't supposed to be touched at all, but this maiden could not stop messing with them. Like, she even tried on the forbidden dress and held the forbidden lance. But where she really messed up is one day she almost drank from the forbidden chalice. There's no telling what happens when you drink from that thing, so when the god caught her doing that, he scolded her and gave her a final warning, where he basically said if you do it again, you're gonna get banished from the Sanctuary. But the maiden did not listen and eventually tried to steal the forbidden scripture. And as we can see, she got caught. And filled with rage, the god struck her down, forever banishing her from the Sanctuary in the Sky. And after she was banished, she was known as the Condemned Maiden. Now this is actually where it gets interesting, because instead of just accepting her fate, she actually got super vengeful, eventually practicing in the dark arts until she became known as the Condemned Witch, where she was eventually noticed by a group of all-powerful demons known as the Dark Lords. See, the Dark Lords are a series of monsters that used to live in the Sanctuary in the Sky as well. But just like the maiden, eventually they were struck down and turned into what are essentially demons. And it was their leader, known as Dark Lord Morningstar, who saw potential in the witch and decided to give her a powerful upgrade, infusing her with demonic powers, turning her into the Condemned Dark Lord. And with this new powerful ally on their side, the Dark Lords decided it was finally time to wage war against the Sanctuary in the Sky. And it worked. They decimated the place. Mostly thanks to the maiden, because she was going on an absolute tear. She even found the forbidden chalice that she was denied earlier and used it to destroy one of the guards of the Sanctuary. And the entire battle eventually culminated in a final face-off between the maiden and the god, where this time she was the one striking. But even now that the maiden had become so powerful, she still was nowhere close to the power of the god. In an odd turn of events, even though the god was clearly so much more powerful than the maiden, he didn't strike her down again. In fact, our story ends with the god forgiving the maiden, as seen in the card the Sanctified Dark Lord, where it even looks like he's purifying her with the forbidden chalice, taking away her demonic powers.